Have you noticed it's never the right time to start something new? Welcome back to Beta Things, the show that brings you the future of mechanical technology in a digital world. And it's time, it's beyond time to get this show on the road again. Friends, let me take you back. Back 3 months ago to when I had the dream that I could spend the summer without paying rent. Bolstered by others who had built tiny houses to live debt-free and mortgage-free, I thought perhaps I could use some of that magic myself. And so, with CAD in hand and a dream in my heart, I set about creating a $700 tiny home conversion for my truck. And I'm not going to tell you it was an easy voyage. No, it was very hard. And yet the fruits still stand proud of the maker who dared to create them. And that, my friends, is what we're going to be looking at today. Please, come into my home. Ha-ha! Please, come in. Welcome to Cribs. This is my crib. So, we have chloroplast windows and 3D printed vents. Up here is a spot above the cab where there's a lot of storage. Yes. My beautiful bed. And I've been quite comfortable in here all summer. Biggest thing ever. Bedside table. Because there's some things that only go on a bedside table. Like change, deodorant, mints, bedside table things. And then we also have a little bit of storage under here. And, another really important thing, being able to sit on my bed and put my shoes and socks on. That's such a thing that I needed. Okay, that's the tour. Back to you, Inside Paul. Thanks, Outside Paul. So now that you've seen the camper, let's look more deeply at how it was made and how it was made for so little. There's a method of building kayaks called stitching glue, and it's a method by which you use sheets of material that butt up against each other end to end and are stitched together with usually copper wire. You follow that up with fiberglass on the inside, fiberglass on the outside, and in between you've cut the excess wire off. And that's sort of the method that I was basing this build on. Now I had to do a little bit of learning and figure out how to draw a specific way, but at the end of the day, this is a stitch and glue build camper. So the learning that I had to do was about curved fold origami, and that's something I've been looking into for a long time. It's very interesting to me. It's a very holistic system when you're dealing with folding paper in curves, but more specifically, more saliently to this particular build, was the idea of developable services. And that just means that a planar surface like this piece of, sandpaper, can only really bend along one axis at a time. And so that could be this way, that could be this way, and it could even be in sort of a cone where it's pinched at one end and sort of flared at the other. That all works. But what you can't get away with are curved surfaces, like compound curved surfaces like this here would not develop into a flat plane if flattened. So from there, I had to figure out how to draw that kind of thing. And I'll put up some shots of maybe the original one I was working on, and then as I progressed into this iteration, basically it ended up being straight lines swept along curves and then cut on each other. And by inverting curves against each other, you can create a very strong shell without a lot of substructure, and that's just what we did here. The only substructure in the entire camper is just the back door ledge. Everything else is held in tension by the curves in the individual panels. So once I'd learned about the developable surfaces, and I'd drawn a camper that I was happy with, it was time to send the job off to a CNC router. Luckily in town here we have a great company that was willing to take that on for me, so they cut I think about 10 sheets of 1/8 inch plywood for me, exactly to spec, even with all the holes that I was going to need to stitch the thing together. And then we just went to town. In one day we had the entire thing assembled with zip ties. And the second day we had the inside edges bondoed for the initial hold, and then we cut the zip ties off the outside, and then in the third day we did the fiberglass tape and resin on the outside. And so I'm really excited about this method of building things, because you can build really, really big things really fast that have very a lot of strength to them, and they can be waterproof and they can be weatherproof, and it's about a lot more than just boats and campers. I really do think that this building technique is going to open up a lot of doors in the future for fast build structures. That's pretty much the whole build. It's been a great experience for me. I spent the entire summer basically living in my friends' living rooms and sleeping in the back of my truck and being really social and being out in the world. And so I really enjoyed it. And I'm only kind of lamenting moving into a real house tomorrow. Yeah, so that's it for the $700 tiny home conversion. Thank you for watching Beta Things. Please tune in again, and let's keep looking to the future of mechanism together.